Hello, my lovely anatomists and physiologists. Welcome back to another Chapter 6 video. Before we really get into our bone anatomy, let's talk about the two major types of bone. So osseous tissue can come in either the compact bone form or the spongy bone form. Now, what we'll see with the compact bone is going to be dense, it's going to be hard, it's going to be found on the walls of what we're going to call the diaphysis. And the diaphysis will be the shaft of the long bone, and we'll define that in the next video in more detail. We'll also talk about this compact bone as being, and when we say walls of the diaphysis, we can say under periosteum. And so we'll get to that again in that next video. The significance of the compact bone is that it withstands compression. It withstands compression. Its job is to support and protect. When we look at the spongy bone, what we'll see is that there's going to be a lot of open spaces. We can see the spongy bone open spaces in these two pictures. So we're going to see it in the ends of the bone, which are called epiphyses. That's the plural form. This is a word we'll define in the next video. And we'll see it also lining the medullary cavity or space, which we're able to see in this picture down below. And again, we're going to define and talk more about medullary cavity or space in the next video. When we look at the bone and we see how it lays out and we talk about the open spaces, one way you could describe the way that it looks is lattice-like. It's in this network, lattice-like network. And we can also call the extensions of bone trabeculae. So some people call it spongy bone, some people call it trabecular bone, some people call it cancellous bone. So we'll see some different names here. What is it going to do for the body? It's going to support shifts in weight distribution. It's also going to make a bone lighter. We have to carry this business around all the time, right? So let's lighten it up when we can. And it's also going to contain the red marrow. Remember, the red bone marrow is mentioned as the location for hematopoiesis, which is blood cell production. Blood cell production. If we look at our histology, if we look at our picture of our tissue, this, remember, we've studied already in our lab. This is our compact bone. And the signature feature of the compact bone are these circular units. And each one of these circular units is called an osteon. So each circular unit is called an osteon. And remember, they're looking like tree rings. So it looks like a bunch of tree stumps. At the very center of your osteon, you have what's called the central canal. The central canal is at the very center of your osteon. And this is going to be where you have your blood vessels, your nerves, and remember, lymphatic vessels are usually found everywhere that those blood vessels are found. So all of this is coming up through the central canal. It's important to remember this is a piece of living tissue inside your body, right? And so for tissue to be alive, it needs to have access to blood. The blood is producing, or not producing, but providing oxygen, nutrients, and waste removal. And so these cells need access to that as well. So this is actually the reason for that concentric pattern is the cells are located in concentric circles around that central canal because that's the access to the blood. Each of these darker spots inside the osteon, making this appearance of rings around the central canal, are the cell types called the osteocyte. And the osteocytes are located in a little space called a lacuna. If you are talking about the plural form of the word, we use the AE ending and we would pronounce that lacunae. So each osteocyte is located in a little bit of space in that bone. It's a living cell. It needs some room to move and grow a little bit. And so that's going to be that space right there. Sticking off of your central canal, you are going to have perforating canals. And the perforating canals are going to extend to what we're going to call in the next video, we've mentioned it already, periosteum and the endosteum. So we'll define those terms in the next video. So the key thing to see and remember here is that the bone is highly vascularized, meaning it has blood vessels. Okay, stay tuned for the next video. And as always, take care of yourselves and each other.